Thank you. All right, good afternoon and Happy New Year, folks, and welcome to CEP Live. Today we're going to be doing a pretty easy physical session. So if you're like me and a lot of other folks, you probably got knocked way off your routine during the holidays, and maybe you probably had a few more calories than you burned, perhaps. So anyway, so we're going to start kind of gentle today, just kind of ease back into the new year's. As Megan was talking about the setup a little bit. So first thing you want to do is kind of check your floor space, make sure there's nothing around that you're going to roll an ankle on or trip over, right? And then a chair will be very important today. Important points to remember about the chair is make sure it doesn't have any wheels on it, all right? Because sometimes we'll be spending a lot of time actually sitting in the chair today, but sometimes we'll hold on to the chair for balance. So we don't want to hold on to a chair with wheels and depend on that for balance, okay? The other thing is this chair does not have any arms on it. We're going to be doing some things where you're actually moving your arms, so you don't want to be banging your elbow against the chair while you're doing that and hitting your funny bone. So again, the two main points is make sure your chair does not have wheels, and ideally it should be a flat chair that does not have arms. In terms of other equipment, and it's not required, but I've got a pair of dumbbells here. These are 5-pound dumbbells, just to give you an idea what we'll be doing with. We'll be doing some bicep curls, some tricep extensions, and some wrist activity. So if you don't have any dumbbells, you can still do the movement without any weights, but maybe you have a couple cans of soup handy, a couple of water bottles you can use. And I always like to keep my drink bottle handy whenever I'm doing a workout. So we'll take little hydration breaks throughout the workout, get a little sip of water. Okay, so I will do the exercises. We're going to also show a seated demonstration, then I'll do a standing demonstration. Like I said, a lot of the exercises will all be seated, but for some of the, particularly the warm-up exercises, we'll be standing up. Okay, and I said we're just going to kind of slowly get going here. So I'm going to get that chair out of the way for the time being, and I'm going to just kind of slowly start marching in place while we talk about a few things. So, and if you want to sit down, if you something you have aches and pains, your knees, back, etc., you want to do this entire workout seated, you can. All right, so you can just march in place while seated in your chair, or if you're ready, willing, and able, you can march in place while you're standing up. So we're just going to start nice and slow and gentle. So one of the themes I sort of wanted to talk about today is exercise retention. So a lot of people, they have great plans at the beginning of the new year. They set all these New Year's resolutions, or they make, I like to use the word New Year's intentions, things that maybe I'd like to accomplish this year or try and do differently. And so a lot of people, they start and they have high hopes, and then things don't last long. Research or studies have shown that a lot of people who engage in an exercise program, about 50% drop out within 6 months. So what might be some strategies that kind of help us stay with our exercise program? Well, the first one is make it fun and enjoyable, right? You want your exercise thing to be something you actually look forward to, and not something you just want to struggle and to get through and get over with. I'm going to take that up into a sort of a light, bouncy jog mode. Okay, so what are ways we can make that fun and enjoyable? Well, a great way to do that is find an exercise buddy or an exercise group, okay? And that has lots of different benefits to it. Well, first of all, if you have an exercise buddy, it can help keep you accountable. So maybe days you feel like working out, your exercise buddy doesn't feel like working out, and you can say, hey, come on, we need to do this. Or the other days where you don't feel like working out, and your exercise buddy comes up to you and says, no, we told ourselves we were going to do this. Come on, let's get going. And another great way is to find an exercise class, and research has shown adding that social component to it by being engaged in an exercise class not only improves cognition, but also improves mood. So exercising in a group is actually a little bit better for your brain and better for your mood than simply exercising alone. Of course, there's nothing wrong with exercising alone. I do it all the time. I'm going to change that movement. I call this baby squats with big arm swings. So if you're seated in the chair, you can just come up to the heels, balls of the feet, rocking back and forth while you're swinging your arms forward and backward. Okay, so again, back to baby squats with exercise squats. Okay, so another tip that might be helpful, if you find little sort of rewards for yourself. We were in class today, we were talking about what might keep us motivated to stay with our exercise program. Well, a number of folks said they wanted to improve their golf game. Some people said they had trips they were planning, like doing hiking Stone Mountain. One person was planning on going to Yellowstone National Park, and they wanted to be in shape for that trip. Okay, so they could really thoroughly enjoy themselves on that hike. I'm going to add a little sidestep to that. Maybe your motivation is you want to be able to play with your grandkids. All right, so you think about those situations where if you were a little bit looser, a little more flexible, a little stronger, a little more fit, you could enjoy your grandchildren a little bit more, things like that. And then a new idea that I just became aware of recently was this guy had what he called the 2-day rule. What is that about? Okay, so there's going to be days where we just don't get around to getting our exercise in. Something comes up, right? We need to take the car to the garage, or we have a doctor's appointment, or whatever. Or maybe we need to do shopping that day. And we saw our exercise slides, but let's not let that slide more than 2 days in a row. So we want to try and make that as habit or a routine as best we can. So, okay, I'm going to not miss more than 2 days in a row. So that's the 2-day rule. Another useful thing that I find is actually putting it on your calendar, scheduling your workout sessions. Okay, like maybe it's that exercise class you want to attend. Maybe there's a walking group in your neighborhood you'd like to join. And so they're doing it at the same time every morning. That might be another good thing, right? Okay, so anyway, there's a variety of strategies, but the first one is make it fun and enjoyable. Another one is maybe find somebody to work out with, a group with. My mom, who's 90 years old, she attends her silver sneakers classes and plays pickleball, so she really likes the social aspect of going to her gym. I'm going to change my arm movement, all right? So I'm going to do some overhead arm sweeps. Again, keeping it kind of slow, smooth, and gentle. That's going to be kind of our theme for today. Slow, smooth, and gentle, easing back into the new year. Okay, now, if you're new to exercise or haven't done it in a while, or maybe you're trying to try a new form of exercise, or maybe try something a little more strenuous than you're used to, of course, it's always a good idea to consult with your healthcare provider before engaging in something new and or more strenuous than you're accustomed to. Always a good idea. Now, while we're doing this, let's talk about what the ACSM, as well as the CDC and the American Heart Association recommends for exercise. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to change my movement. I'm going to reach across, right arm to the left arm to the right arm to the left. So the ACSM, American College of Sports Medicine, the CDC, American Heart Association, they all recommend trying to get at least 150 minutes of moderate physical activity in a week. So what might that look like? Well, it might be 50 minutes 3 times a week. It might be 30 minutes 5 times a week. It's kind of better if you break it up rather than do it all in one day. And then in addition to doing your cardio activities for 115 minutes a week, you want to try and get strength training in 2 days a week on non-consecutive days. Meaning if you work out hard on Tuesday, you don't want to really work those same muscles again out on Wednesday. You want to give yourself at least a day in between. I'm going to change that movement to some trunk twisters, so elbows are up. Again, keeping it slow, smooth, and gentle. Again, if you're sitting in a chair, just watch, don't bang your elbows. Just warming up that midsection, warming up the muscles of the core, the back muscles, the vertebrae. All right, I'm going to move on to what I call hip circles now. So standing with the hands on the hips, feet about shoulder width apart. I'm just going to kind of swivel those hips around in a big circle, as if I'm sort of got an imaginary hula hoop on. Just loosening up those hip joints. And I'm going to put the brakes on and take them the other direction. All right, for the next stretch, I'm going to use my chair for this. Call these leg swings. So I'm going to get behind my chair and hold on to the chair. With both hands, I'm going to take the right leg, and I'm just going to gently swing that back and forth to side. Again, just continuing to loosen up that hip socket. So I'm just thinking nice, loose, smooth, not trying to go crazy high. And then I'm going to take that same leg and I'm going to swing it forward and backward. Just be mindful you don't kick anybody or anything. If you're working out with a workout buddy there, just make sure you don't kick your workout buddy. All right, and then on to side 2. Left leg, side to side, again, nice and loose. And then I'm going to take that same leg and swing it forward and backward. All righty. Okay. Before we take a seat and get onto some other stretches, I'm going to take that quick little water break I was talking about. So let's all maybe get a little sip of water. All right. And then let's have a seat. So anybody who's been to my classes in person knows that I'm a man of many mottos. And my first motto, first and foremost, well, I'm sure you've probably heard the expression, no pain, no gain. My first motto is no pain, no pain. So if something hurts, we don't do it. Imagine many of you out there watching, I'm over 60, and just about everybody I know who's over 60 has at least one cranky body part, something that is a little stiff or has a hard time moving or a little sore. So maybe it's bad knees, ankles, hips, shoulders, whatever. So just listen to your body. And so my first motto is no pain, no pain. If something hurts, we just don't do that. I might throw out some different modifications. Second one is do your best and forget the rest. Okay, so maybe I do an activity and you find that challenging. Well, maybe you don't master that activity today. Okay, you just do what you can, stay within your level of comfort, and we'll take it from there. All right, so we're going to basically start with the neck and work our way down. But before we even start with the neck, I have an activity that I'm sure many of you know I'm really good at it. I'm gonna slouch. So I'm gonna let myself slouch, and then I'm gonna do what I call the anti-slouch. I'm gonna take a big breath in. I'm gonna lift my chest. I'm gonna roll my shoulders back, look up toward the ceiling, and I'm gonna exhale and fold back into that slouch. And then inhale, anti-slouch, chest up, shoulders back, chin up. Exhale, slouch. And inhale, anti-slouch. And just a couple more of those. Exhale, we're gonna go into our slouch. Inhale, anti-slouch, and let's do one more like that. Exhale into our slouch, and inhale, anti-slouch. So I'm going to hold that anti-slouch in my back and chest. So I'm keeping my back nice and straight. Chest will lift. I call this proud chest, right? Proud chest, chest up, shoulders back. We do a couple of neck stretches. So we don't want to stretch our neck when our back looks something like this. There's no room for my neck to really go anywhere. So I want to make sure I posture up in that nice anti-slouch position. Okay, your mantra when you're stretching your neck is slow, smooth, and gentle. All right, so exhale, I'm going to slowly draw my chin down toward the chest. Inhale, I'm going to slowly look on up toward the ceiling. And exhale and chin down. Inhale and chin up. And again, chin down. And up. And down. And up. Let's go one more. Exhale, slowly looking down. Inhale, slowly looking up, and then returning to neutral. All right, again, keeping that nice anti-slouch posture. I'm going to do some neck rotation now. So again, sitting up straight. With an exhalation, I'm going to slowly rotate my head to the right, look out over the right shoulder. And inhale and come back to center. And exhale, slowly take it to the left. And again, back to center. And again, easing to the right. And center, and easing to the left, and center, and again to the right, and back, and left, and back, and right, and back, and left, and back. Let's go one more right, and center, and one last one to the left. And back to neutral. Again, remember, no pain, no pain. All right, so again, keeping that nice posture. We got one more for the neck. This is lateral flexion. So on exhalation, I'm going to gently take my head over there toward the right shoulder. Again, slow, smooth, and gentle. Inhale, bringing it back up to neutral. And exhale, slowly taking it to the left. And up we come. And again, to the right. And up and left. and up and to the right. And up and left. And up. Let's go to the right one more time. And up and then to the left one last time. And then back to neutral. I'm going to do some shoulder rolls. I'm going to show you from the profile first. I'm just got my arms hang from the shoulder sockets from this. I'm going to roll my shoulders forward, and then I'm going to bring them up, and then I'm going to roll them back, and then take them down. So I'm going forward, up, and back, and down, and forward, up, back, and down, and forward, up, back, and down. I'm going to go half an arm length. So I'm going to bring my elbows forward, up about shoulder height, maybe an inch higher, and then back and down, forward, up, back, and down, and forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, and down. And now I'm going to go one arm at a time. For the next one, I'm going to do a full arm circle, but I'm going to go one arm, right arm first. I'm going to reach forward and up and back and down, and left arm forward, up, and back, and down. So again, right arm forward, up, back, and down. Now, if you got a bad shoulder, just do what feels good for you, or maybe you need to skip this one. All right, back to the right arm. Big breath in as I reach up. Exhale, back and down. And inhale, left arm forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Right arm, forward, up. Back and down. Left, forward, up, back, and down. All right, I'm going to go the other direction with just back to just the shoulder blade. So now I'm going to start by going backwards, then up, and then forward and down. So back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward. Let's add those elbows, back and up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, and back, up, forward, and down, back, up, forward. And I'm going to stretch the arms and fingers out. Again, I'm going to go one arm at a time. So right arm, I'm going to sweep that back and up. Big hands this time while I'm at it. And then left arm, kind of like I'm doing the freestyle now. I was doing the backstroke a second ago. Now I'm doing the free stroke, freestyle swim. And back, left arm back and up. And again, stick within a range of motion that feels good to you. Right arm back and up, forward and down. And left arm back, up, forward. And now one more each side. Right arm and left. All right, and then take a moment. All right, so the next one is this called horizontal abduction and adduction. So I'm going to have my arms out here. I kind of call this goalpost position. So my elbows are bent to 90 degrees, and my my elbows are about shoulder height. So with an exhalation, I'm going to bring my shoulders, my forearms together. So I'm going to try and join from the little finger all the way down to the elbow. Let me roll my sleeves a little more so you can see that a little better. So I'm going to try and join all the way to the elbow. And then inhale, I'm going to pull the arms way back, stretch open that chest. So exhaling forward. So this will stretch my back and strengthen my chest. And when I take it the other way, it stretches the chest and strengthens the back. And once again, I'm going to exhale forward. Try to zip up the entire length of the forearm. Inhale back. And exhale forward. Inhale back. How about two more of those? And exhale forward. Inhale back. And we're going to go one more like that. Exhale forward. And inhale back and relax. Okay, let's take a little slouch break here. Feels good just to slouch every little bit. We don't want to make a habit of it. It just feels good to take a little slouch break every now and again. All right, we're going to focus on the elbow joint next. So I'm going to grab my weights for that. Again, if you don't have any weights, you can just kind of make a fist and hold an imaginary weight. We're going to start with bicep curls. I'm going to show you from the profile, and then I'll face you straight on. Okay, so for my curl, notice I got my back off the chair. I want to sit up nice and straight, and I'm just going to bring the weights up, flexing at the elbow, and then lower the weights back down. And I'm going to shoot for 12. Okay, so now in class, we often, in order to give our brains a little something more interesting to do, instead of just counting to 12, which is kind of boring, we might count to 36 by 3s, or we might count backward from 23 by 2s, or something along that lines. Okay, so I think right now I'm going to count to 24 by 2s. I encourage you to count at home. All right, so sitting up nice and straight, back to that proud chest. All right, so exhale, I'm going to bring that leg up and do the number. All right, there's 2, and then I'm going to lower the weight. Okay, exhaling up, 4, and down, and up, 6, and down, up, 8, and down, and up, 10, and lower, up, 12, and down, up, 14, and down, up, 16, lower, and up, 18, and down, up, 20, down, 2 more, up, 22, and last one, up, 24, and done with the bicep curls. So the next one is the tricep kickback, which is going to work the elbow joint again, but it's going to work the back of the arm or the tricep muscles. Let me just give you a quick demonstration here. So I'm going to hinge forward from my hips. I still want to keep my back straight. I'm going to bring the elbows nice and high, and I want to try and keep them as high as I can throughout the entire exercise. So I'm going to kick the arms straight back like so, again, keeping those elbows well raised and kind of in tight. All right, so we're shooting for 12 again. So this time, why don't we count backward from 23 by 2s once again? All right, I'll move into that deep hinge. All right, elbows are high. Going to kick that weight straight back. There's 23 and lower. And back, 21 and down. Up, 19, lower, up, 17, and down, up, 15, down, up, 13, down, up, 11, down, up, 9, down, up, 7, down, couple more down, up, 5, and up, 3, and last one up, and 1, and done with those. So you might notice tricep kickbacks tend to be a little more challenging than the bicep curls. All right, for the next 2, 3 exercises, I'm going to focus really on the wrist joint and these muscles in my forearm. These muscles are sort of forgotten in traditional workouts. We don't think of working our forearm muscles as much, or our wrist muscles, but they're really important for activities of daily living and really important for maintaining that grip strength, because we know when people begin to lose grip strength, they become less engaged in various different activities. They start doing activities that they're afraid they might drop something or they can't hold on to something. And so not only do they become less active physically, but they also become less active mentally if we're not maintaining that grip strength. Okay, so I call these wrist curls. So I'm going to show you from the profile once again. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to curl that weight up to here and then back down. All right, so notice I move only in the wrist. My forearms don't move, so I'm going to rest my arms heavily on those legs. All right, again, I'm going to shoot for 12. So we're going to curl that. I'm just going to count to 12 by ones this time. We'll keep it simple. And down, and up, and down is 2, up, 3, and down, up, 4, and down, up, 5, and down, and up, 6, and down, up, 7, and down, up, 8, and down, up, 9, down, and 10, and lower, 2 more, 11, down, and 12. All right, now I'm going to reverse the grip. I'm going to go into a pronated grip, and this is going to work the muscles, my extensor muscles on the wrist, which again, they probably don't get worked as much as the other ones. So this might be slightly more challenging. Basically the same idea. I'm going to lift those up as high as I can and back down. Again, we're shooting for 12. Okay, here's 2, and down, and up, 3, down, up, 4, and lower, up, 5, and down, and 6, and lower, 7, and down, 8, and lower, 9, down, 10, down, 2 more, 11, down, and 12, and down. All right, so for the next one, I'm going to grab the weights right on the end of the weight. And so this is called supination and pronation. So you have 2 muscles in your wrist. That's their only job, is to turn the wrist out, another muscle to turn the wrist back in. So we're going to supinate and pronate, and we're shooting for 12. All right, so there's out and back. There's 1, and out, and back, and 2, out, in 3, out, and 4. Notice I'm trying to rotate the wrist a complete 180 degrees, and in 5, out, in 6, out, in 7, out, in 8, out, in and 9, out, in 10, out, in 11, out, and 12, and done with that. And we're actually done with the weights. This would be a good opportunity to take another water break. So while we're putting the weights up, let's get a little sip of water. All right, so after dripping those weights, I want to do a little something to stretch the fingers back out. So we're going to do spreading of the fingers and then scrunching of the fingers. Now, as Megan mentioned earlier, I do a lot of work with people who have Parkinson's. And while the two, conditions, Parkinson's and cognitive impairment, are different in a lot of ways, there's also a lot of crossover between the two. But one of the things that happens with people with Parkinson's as the disease progresses is they begin to lose their facial expressions, right? Their facial muscles become a little more stiff and not as functional. So this is kind of a fun activity. So I'm going to do big hands, but at the same time I'm doing big hands, I'm going to do a surprise face. Ah, so the elbows come up, and the mouth is big and wide. Then I'm going to scrunch my hands and do a real determined face. I'm going to furrow my brow, scrunch up my lips. And it's even more entertaining if you make the sounds that go with it. Okay, surprise, and then determined, surprise, determined, I hope you're doing this at home so I don't feel so silly doing this by myself. Surprise, and determined, surprise, and determined. Okay, now I'm going to go happy face, yay. And then I'm going to go sad face, boo. Happy, yay. Sad, boo. Yay. Boo. One more, yay. And boo. I hope you didn't decide just to turn the TV off right there and the computer off right there. All right, so we're going to work on the muscles of the trunk now. So we're going to do some things for the trunk, the spinal column. All right, so the next 3 things, I'm going to actually have my hands behind my head. Now, I don't want to be pulling on my head heavily, right, and straining my neck. It's just kind of lightly touching the back of the head. And it's kind of like what we did earlier with our slouch and our anti-slouch. So let me show you from the profile. So as I exhale, I'm going to move into spinal flexion. So I'm going to round myself up like a little ball. And as I inhale, I'm going to move into spinal extension. So I'm going to lift my chest up, my chin up, look up toward the ceiling, pull the elbows way back. All right, we're going to go back and forth between that a handful of times. All right, exhale, we're going to tuck yourself, round yourself like a little ball, spinal flexion. Inhale, spinal extension. So chest up, looking up, pulling those elbows way back. Exhale into flexion. Inhale into extension. And again, exhale, flexion. Inhale, extension. Exhale, flexion. Inhale, extension. How about one more? Exhale, flex. And inhale, extend. And back to neutral. But I'm not going to go back into flexion again. I want to keep that nice straight back because I'm going to move into a twist now. All right, getting a nice big breath, lifting the chest well. As you exhale, you're going to rotate your trunk to your right. And inhale, come on back to center. And exhale again. Now turn to the left. And inhale and center. And again, right. Inhale, center. And left. And center. And again, right. Exhale. Inhale, center. And left. Exhale. And back. Let's go one more. Right. Exhale. And neutral. Last one left. Exhale. And back to neutral. We got one more with the hands behind the head. So I'm going to move into lateral flexion, or kind of a C-shaped curve in my spine. So be gentle with your body on this one. As I exhale, I'm going to kind of take my right elbow down toward the floor and stretch my left elbow up toward the ceiling. Now inhale, I'm going to pull myself back up. Exhale, I'm going to take it the other way. So laterally flexing to the left, C-shaped curve. Inhale up. And exhale back to the right. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale up. And again right. And up. And left. And up. And again right. And up to the left. And up. Let's go one more each way. Exhale right. and up, and one more to the left, and up we come. All right, we can release our hands from the back of our head. I'm gonna steal another one from the Pilates, or not the Pilates, the Parkinson's playbook. It's a series of exercises called BIGs, which are, as the name would imply, they're really big, expansive movements, and they're just feel good. So we're gonna throw one of those in there, okay? Just maybe watch for the first one. So as I inhale, I'm gonna stretch out, notice the big hands. As I exhale, I'm gonna reach down toward the floor. Inhale, I'm gonna bring the head up, then the chest up, then the arms up. And exhale, I'm gonna stretch the arms way back and down. Let's try one of those together. Big breath in as we reach out. Exhale, reaching down. Inhale, head up first, then chest, then arms, and then exhale, reach way back. And again, big breath in as we reach out. Exhaling on down. Inhale, head up, chest up, arms up. Exhale, back and down. Repeat. Inhale, arms are out. Exhale, hands are down. Inhale, up. Big breath in. Exhale, back and down. Let's go one more. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. And then relax. That felt good, to be honest with you. That did feel good, didn't it? All right, so I'm going to do this one I call my imaginary rope pull. Okay, so I just got a new job ringing the bells at the newly refurbished Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. So I'm going to reach up here. I'm going to grab my imaginary rope. So I'm going to reach way over here, up and over that left shoulder. I'm going to grab that imaginary rope, and I'm going to exhale. I'm going to pull it down to the outside edge of that right foot. So I'm inhaling up. So there's your spinal extension and rotation. Exhale, I'm going to pull it down, rotating across the body into spinal flexion. So I'm doing all three of those spinal actions. Inhale up to the left. Exhale down to the right. Inhale up left. Exhale down right. Inhale up left. Exhale down right. Let's go one more. The big breath in as we reach up. And exhaling on down. I'm going to take it the other direction. Now, just for fun, this is kind of mind-boggling the first time you do it. I'm going to change the interlace of my fingers. So if you look at my fingers here, watch how I release the digits, and I'm going to switch them over another digit. And so the opposite thumb's on top. Now, the first time you do that, it's going to feel really weird. And that's how you know you're doing it right. All right, now we can take it the other direction. So I'm going to inhale, I'm going to reach way up and over the right shoulder, grab that imaginary rope, exhale, pull it down to the outside edge of the left foot. Now, if you got kind of a cranky shoulder, you can use your good arm to help raise your not so good arm. Exhale, back down we come. But again, remember our first rule, no pain, no pain. So if something hurts, we don't do it. Right? Back down we come. Again, inhale up to the right. Exhale down left. Inhale up right. Exhale down left. And we're going to go one more that way. Inhale up right. And exhale down and to the left. All right, we just got a couple more joints we're going to take a look at here. So we're going to look at the knee joint and the hip joint simultaneously. So we'll have to come up for this one. And I'm going to hold on to my chair for balance on these. Okay, so we're going to do some hip and knee flexion and then into hip and knee extension. Just maybe watch for a moment. So I'm going to start with the right leg. I'm going to flex the knee and the hip, bring it nice and high. Then I'm going to straighten the leg first and then extend the leg backwards. So moving into knee and hip extension. So we're going to raise the leg, straighten it, and then take it back as far as is comfortable. Again, up or flex, and then down and extend. We're shooting for 10, up, straight, and down, and up, straight, and down, up, straight, down, and up, straight, down, up, straight, down, and back, up, straight, and back. How about two more? Up, straight, back. Last one. Up, straight, and back. All right, moving on to side two. So left leg, holding on that chair for support. All right, leaning a little bit into it. So again, knee flexion and hip flexion. So I'm going to bend the knee and hip, bring it up nice and high, straighten the leg, and then extend it back as far as it's comfortable. And once again, up, straight, and then back. Up, straight, and back. Up, straight, back, and up, straight, back, up, straight, and back, and up, straight, back, up, straight, back, and up, straight, and back. 2 more, up, straight, back. Last one, up, straight, and back, and relax. All right, so the next one, I'm going to actually work on hip abduction. So where you take the leg out to the side a little bit. So I'm going to stand off to the side of my chair. We're going to have you lean a little bit to that side. So you're going to have your weight in your left leg. I'm just going to take that right leg straight out to the side. Okay, so we're working on these. Again, we're shooting for 10. So we're working on these hip abductor muscles, which are real important, again, for balance. If you start to sort of lean one way or fall one direction, you want to be able to react with that leg and bring that leg out to the side and catch yourself. So these are good for stability and for balance. All right, we got a few more of those. Yeah. All right, and then we head on to side 2. So again, chair on my right hand, leaning a little to the right, and I'm going to take the left leg out to the side, just straight out to the side and back. Okay, now the leg's probably not going to go crazy high, and you don't want to try and lift it too high. All right, just so you can feel a nice, that hip abductor muscle working. And you'll find your standing leg gets about as much work in this as the raising leg. Both legs have to work kind of hard in this one. All right, 2 more. And then last one. All right, and then done with that one. All right, we get good news. We get to sit back down. And I got one more joint we're going to talk about. That would be the ankle joint. So these lower leg muscles are very important for balance. Okay, so again, these lower leg muscles are sort of often forgotten in traditional workouts, but these are really important for balance. All right, so we're going to point and flex the toes. I'm going to sit way back in my chair so I can actually float the feet up off the floor. So I'm going to point my toes. And then I'm going to flex them. I'm going to point and flex. And we're going to do this somewhere in the neighborhood about 16 to 20 times. So a number of people that we're talking about in our New Year's intentions this year, a number of people said they wanted to go hiking in various different locations. Well, when you're out in the wilderness, if you're hiking up and down Stone Mountain or one of these national parks, there's lots of things. You're not necessarily walking on a flat, smooth, level surface. You're going to be navigating rocks and roots and crevices. So you want your ankles to be strong and flexible for that uneven terrain. I'm going to do maybe 4 more like this. 2 and 3 and 4. Now I'm going to angle the soles of the feet in, and then I'm going to turn them out. Okay, so notice I'm just only moving the foot at the ankle joint. I'm keeping my legs very still, so I'm really concentrating again on those lower leg muscles. How about maybe 4 more of those? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last two, I'm going to do big circles. So imagine you got a pencil or a paintbrush in between your toes there, and you're trying to draw really big round circles with your feet. Now, I don't know about you, but I can really feel those lower leg muscles starting to warm up a little bit. And this will be our last exercise for the day. I'm going to change direction, take those the other way. All right, and then done. All right, so I did have one more. This is kind of a fun, kind of dual tasking thing, but I'll leave you with. All right, so I'm going to pick my heels up, then my toes up, and my heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. Now I'm going to add palms to that. So I'm going to have palms up, heels up, palms down, toes up, palms up, heels up, palms down, toes up, palms up, heels up, palms down, toes up, palms up, heels up, palms down. Okay, here's the mind blower. Okay, so I'm going to have one heel up, one toe up. Let's just practice that a couple of times. Lifting one heel and one toe. All right, here's the grand finale. I'm going to have one palm up, one palm down, one heel up, one toe up, and I'm going to switch all 4 body parts at one time. Okay, and so if you're having a hard time with this, I did the first time as well. So it took me a little practice so I get that. Anyway, something to entertain yourself during your commercial breaks when you're watching TV. You can practice that one at home. I made it a little more interesting today. We started counting backwards from 100 by 3s while we were doing the same task. All right, that's going to do it for today, folks. I really appreciate you joining me today. Once again, Happy New Year. Hope you enjoyed the program today and look forward to seeing you back here again in the future.